My roommate tried hitting on my dad, so I soaked all her tampons in alcohol and sent her to the hospital. One of my roommates is an actual slut with zero respect for herself, and recently her disgusting behavior has gone too far. My dad was visiting me for the weekend, and while he was in my apartment, my roommate kept making gross advances on him. It was one of the trashiest things I had ever seen, and I couldn't believe she was comfortable hitting on my own father literally right in front of me. She made my dad so uneasy, and I was only feeling more and more rage as I watched it all happen. I had taken my dad out for breakfast after he got to my apartment, and when he came back I was showing him around the place when my roommate came out of her room wearing only a lace bra and tiny shorts. It was already so weird of her to be walking around like that, let alone talking to my dad half naked, but what she did next was by far the most revolting thing. She started laughing at everything my dad said and playing with her hair. Finally she started touching his chest and calling him handsome. Again, all of this was happening right in front of me. After a minute of her hitting on my dad right in front of me, I snapped at her saying that she was being weird and inappropriate and to leave us the hell alone. She just laughed at me and touched my dad's chest one more time before literally trying to give him my number. My dad is a married man, and my roommate knows that since she's heard me talking about my mom before. I always knew she was a total WHRE, but I never thought that she was this desperate of a person. That night after my dad left, I decided that I needed to get back to my roommate somehow. She had just pissed me off so bad, and I had already disliked her for being such a big slut. We all keep our hygiene products in the bathroom, and I knew she had a small box of tampons under the sink. I took her tampons into my room and I soaked them in a big jar of isopropyl alcohol overnight. I took the tampons out the next day and let them dry before putting them back under the cabinet. A couple weeks later she had her period, and I noticed that she had started to use her tampons. Out of nowhere one day, one of my other roommates texted in our group chat that our slut roommate had fainted out in the living room and she had needed to rush her to the hospital. It turns out that she had sustained some sort of infection and nerve damage in her bay and had to stay in the hospital for a couple of days. When I heard this, I honestly felt kind of bad, but I thought that it was a pretty fitting punishment. When she comes home, I'm going to reveal to her that I was behind her injuries and she shouldn't hit on other people's effing fathers.